Hi everyone, welcome to Feelings Forward. Today I'm going to talk to Ahana, who's a content creator and entrepreneur and also the powerhouse behind Seed, which is a vegan food brand. She's been in the public eye for a really long time, so we're going to talk about what are the pressures related to that, how does she feel about being on the internet, constantly posting her life on the internet. So stay tuned, it's going to be a very interesting conversation. I keep thinking about this, and this is the first question that pops up in my head. You've been in the public eye for so long, for years now. You create content, you're always posting pictures and videos. What is the stress attached to that? Is there any pressure to appear happy on the internet?
So I think that for me, initially when I started posting content was just for myself. It was just something that I did during COVID, and I was just doing it because I enjoyed it and we had nothing to do at home and it really was fun. And then soon when it started getting picked up and I started getting paid to do things, and then I started realizing that people are watching me and they actually care about what I'm doing. That's when I started overthinking the whole thing and it started playing in my head a lot. And it just made me feel I constantly had to put a version of myself, which was maybe not fully me, but at that moment enough for people to be happy with, or this is something that they wanted to see. But then I think, like by the end of it, when I figured it out that I did it for fun and I want to do it for fun and there's nothing else in between, I don't have to be anybody else but me. And now I literally don't have any stress. Like if I think about what I want to put, I'm going to put it, whether it's for work, whether it's just me casually doing what I want to do.
Yeah.
There's like no thought behind it, but it does creep up on you if you overthink it and make it your whole world. And I'm just glad that I don't do that anymore. So
That's amazing. So when you were overthinking the whole situation, right? I'm sure you got from there to here now today. But when you were on that journey, what helped? Like how did you deal with your mental health?
well, I mean, if I'm being very honest, I think that was the only time when I would say I actually did go through depression, which was, and you know that it creeped up on me because I could never imagine that I would be depressed. Like I always heard somebody say that, oh, I'm going through depression, but I'm just like, get over it. Like, what do you mean? It's just in your head. But that's the time when I was going through it and I did not understand why it was happening to me. And the first question it is like, I just don't want to feel this way. And that's what I kept telling myself. And then you guys like helped me speak to somebody, and I took professional help to understand that it can happen to anybody. And when I actually started realizing that you can work through it, and that's the time when I realized that everything it's not permanent. It will pass. That feeling will go away as long as you tell yourself that it's not permanent. And that's what I did.
Yeah, that's a very important thing. Feelings are so temporary.
Yeah.
And you can be happy one moment and sad the other and stressed the
But
other.
you can control it. You can control everything.
Yeah.
That's what I've learned.
Yeah. Growing up also, what was like the biggest stressor growing?
I just could not be fat. Like I just couldn't digest that. Like the fact that I even put on a little bit of weight, I would go crazy. I have gone through I was anorexic and I was bulimic at a very awkward age in my life, which was, I don't even think people at that time knew what it was. People were still eating what they wanted to do and doing what they wanted to do. But I'd already gone 10 steps ahead and wanted a version of myself, which you don't need when you're 13 years old. So I think it was that. And I think I fought with that for so long. That's why I'm so into health and fitness, because I want to do it in a better and healthy way, because I've been through that when I was younger.
I see that in a lot of kids also growing up, 13-year-olds, 14-year-olds struggling with body image issues. Any message that you have for them?
Instagram's fake. You can edit anything, so don't think they look like that.
Yeah.
You just have to just work out, take care of yourself, eat right, and you will look the way you want to.
Yeah.
Because it's so important. Like you just keep, everybody's body type is different. First, everybody has to understand that. Maybe your 10 hours of working and one person's 1 hour working, they might just look different. You might look different, but as long as you're physically healthy, and you will then achieve your goal.
With body image also, like the voices in our head, social media being one
It's all
factor.
social media. You're constantly seeing perfect people all the time. They just look like they're dropped from heaven.
Yeah.
And then you're like, why don't I look like that?
Yeah.
But then I think the moment you start working towards yourself, I'm always going to encourage people to work out. I don't think like eating whatever you want to and not exercising is going to make you feel good. No, it's not. If you want to look a certain way, you have to work hard.
Hmm. But social media being one factor, what do you think? What other factors contribute to a bad body image? Could it be families, relationships, friends? What?
Yeah, I mean, if you have friends who make you feel insecure about something that you're already insecure and they think it's a joke,
Yeah.
that's gonna like make you feel the worst version of yourself. I think you need to really find the right people who motivate you and push you
Hmm.
to do the right thing instead of just listening to other people's voices. You just have to be
Hmm.
very mentally strong, even though I might say that because I am that person and I've made myself that person, so it's easier for me to say it.
Hmm.
But I think the more you become best friends with your own mind, everything just works out.
Lots of people put content for validation, like likes and shares and views. Does that happen with you?
I think it did when my Instagram started picking up when it just started. Then it was just like I
Hmm.
would scroll and see how many views and likes I've got. And now I don't care because I'm putting it up for myself.
Why do you think people do that, like for likes and views? Or why were you doing that earlier initially?
Because I think that time, firstly, I didn't know what I was doing on social media. I didn't know I was a content creator. But when you started like seeing how people are reacting to you and how much they
Hmm.
appreciate what you're doing, it's just like a temporary like nice feeling and you want to be liked or like you want
Yeah.
everybody to like appreciate what you've done or stuff like that. And I think
Hmm.
that it's just temporary. It doesn't matter
Hmm.
as long as your close people, your friends, your family, and you know what you're doing,
Hmm.
then you don't need to find validation outside.
So give me like examples now, though I know, but for our audiences. Um, an example from when we were growing up, a situation where you felt like, yeah, this is a big struggle now. What am I doing?
I think my biggest struggle was studying
Hmm.
because I was never really smart. Let's be honest, I'm very, very street smart. For me, it was just that stress. Like, you guys would study 2 days before your exam. I would study 1 month before. The
Yeah.
same thing on repeat so that I could get maybe half of the marks that you guys were getting like this.
Yeah.
So it was a constant struggle all the time, but I mean, it's fine. I don't look where I am now.
Yeah, you're doing well now. That's so
But
important. Like growing up, there's so much focus on academics. Pado, pado, pado all
yeah,
the time. And all your best friends being in
yeah, all
science.
of you were in science, all, which was just brains around me. But that also kind of helped me focus and study as
Yeah.
much as I could. But I think that that was one thing. That's why I made sure whether it was dance, whether it was football, whether it was basketball, I was just gave myself into that. So I had to be perfect at something that I was good at
Hmm.
because I wasn't perfect at studying.
So
Yeah,
compensating in a way. So actually also figuring out what you're good at. That's
yeah,
something that's so important growing up because we try to constantly be like, acha, we have to be good at studies or everybody is on the football team or the basketball team. So
yeah.
let me try this. Or you're not good at it organically. So figuring out for children to kind of know ki acha kya lagta hai or what they're good at organically, naturally.
Yeah.
That's so important also. So that came to you.
No, I think like what came to me naturally was that I was not good at studying. That came very naturally to me. I've tried everything. I just don't understand. It doesn't make sense to me.
Yeah.
But I think once I was taught, because when you learn in a different way, then I realized that I just have to be taught in a different way and I grasped it better. So it just
Hmm.
made the process easier. And I think like being whether it was dance or whether it was doing football, I just
Hmm.
knew I was better in, doing sports or any other activity. And I think I tried everything at a young age
That.
because my mind was not in like studying. So everything else
Hmm.
just whether it was skating, whether it was every form of dance, I just wanted to do it all just to see where I fit.
Yeah.
And I figured it out at a very young age because
Hmm.
I was struggling with, studying at the same
Studying.
time.
So experimentation led you to.
Yeah, and then I'm very thankful for my parents to like let me do till I think till now. Till
Yeah.
now. I think I'm the first person who has changed maybe 50 jobs,
Yeah.
tried different things from being a host to a bartender, you name it. I've tried my hands everywhere. Till now, I'm
Yeah.
figuring it out. But as long as you're just happy in what you're doing, but you're focused in that at that moment, you should do it.
Hmm.
And I still believe, like, what if I, don't want to do what I'm doing right now? That doesn't scare me. That if I give it up and try something new, that thought doesn't scare me.
But that's great. You had good friends, you had great parents and a support system. What about people who don't have that? Then what does one do? That's a really tough spot to be in.
But I think like before, I think it would be different. But right now, I think people, whether it's kids, a 13-year-old is not the same 13-year-old when we were 13-year-old. They have
Right.
their own opinions. They are
Yeah.
way advanced than we are. So I don't
Hmm.
think it just came in my mind, if they're going through something like that, I can only imagine a kid like posting a reel about it.
Yeah.
I'm going through this, my family's done this, which is also so insane. Instead of actually dealing with it, they start finding validation from random people to make themselves feel secure, which I don't think is something that people should do.
That's the thing. I think social media it has its advantages and its disadvantages.
I think more
Sometimes,
disadvantages than
yeah,
advantages.
sometimes the advantage, I'm being the devil's advocate here, and I'm saying that maybe the advantage is seeking help from social media. Parents are not understanding, so you're posting reels to get some kind of support from outside. Do you think that's how it could work as well?
See, I wish I had a better answer for this, but I don't, because of my support system. Like, the reason I think where I am mentally or the way I feel is because of who I've surrounded myself with. And it's been so important. Like, I don't want to dive into like what I'm feeling at the moment or what I'm going through at the moment. I just feel that whoever you attract is going to really matter to your life. So you just have to be very sure of who you are in talking to or confiding in. And it's just, so I can't really answer that, like how other people should be. You should answer that. What do you think they should do?
Call me. Come to therapy, I'll tell you that. But so growing up, because we're from modern and we had a very tight network of friends, but there were also like fights and gossip.
I was
And,
one who was fighting with everyone.
so how does that work? Like dealing with uh, let's say relationships or friendships falling out. How did you deal with that back then? Because I remember
I was a
us.
very aggressive child. Like, I had a lot of anger issues because I was trying to protect who I was, because I was not good at studies and I didn't want anyone to come up to me and be like, "Kitni dumb hai." That would trigger,
Yeah.
and I would just be aggressive. So for me, it was just, my anger was like on another level, because I was just trying to protect myself so that nobody could have the guts to even come say anything to me. But that's not the way you should go about it.
You're like a coconut, hard on the exterior and soft on the interior. Do you think so?
Yeah. But if you know, people who know me know who I am. And the ones who don't know me, I don't even have to tell you who I am, because it's not important.
So I think because we grew up together, I have a little bit of an insight. I think growing up also, and maybe now also, people think that you, and some people who know you love you, but maybe others can feel that, oh, she's so intimidating, or she comes off as a snooty, bitchy type of person. Do you think you're misunderstood in some spaces?
Right now, if I come across as that, there's a difference. I'm not intimidating, I'm just way more confident than the other person. And that can come off as intimidating to them, because I'm very comfortable in my own skin. So I don't have to pretend to be anyone. I'm not shy to do what I want to do. So maybe it could come off very strong to some people, but then that's their problem. Then I'm not getting along with them, so it's fine with me.
Yeah.
But in school, yeah,
But you also said you were angry, and that
I
came
think I
from
was hated by
something.
everybody, every chick probably. Not my friends.
Yeah.
Because I made them. I really was
Mean girl.
yeah. The movie, I was Regina George, if not worse.
Right.
But
that was coming from a place of anger and
yeah,
overcompensation.
it was that. And now, I mean, if I could like apologize to some of the girls, sorry.
No.
I was actually not that
Yeah.
mean.
Yeah.
I am not that mean anymore. But right now, if I still, people still come up to me and they're like, you know, me and my sister Orvana both, like, you know, we guys, oh my God, you're so different when we start talking to you. But then that's like a judgment you already made without talking to me. But that's on you then. But if you actually, you know, get to know me, even with me at this point, it's as simple. I have a 10 minutes rule. Like, if I meet anybody, I am going to give them my full 10 minutes. And at the end of the day, I am a Gemini. I will give you my attention for 10 minutes and I will know exactly मेरे को बंदा सही लग रहा है नहीं लग रहा है नहीं लग रहा है तो मैं निकल जाऊंगी.
Right. ठीक है.
Which
That's
is fine.
self-awareness and boundaries. That's fine. You were saying that you're a confident person, and I know that about you. You are very confident. What do you feel underconfident about now? Is there anything at all that you feel underconfident about?
I feel anxious and uneasy when I want to do something or I have a vision and I'm not being able to complete it. or like finish that task, or I feel anxious because I don't think I have the knowledge enough to do it and I have to take help from others to kind of guide me to do it. That makes me really uneasy because if I think of something, I need to get it done, as simple as that. And when it's not happening, then I just become very, very anxious.
Any examples of like situations where you have felt like you're saying when you don't know how to do something, or you have a vision and you need help? Any examples you want to share?
Like starting my brand Seed, like it's like I knew how to cook. I have a vision of what I want it to be, but I don't know anything else. Like how do I get it to that point? Whether it's like knowing the accounts of the stuff, whether it's dealing with vendors, I didn't know any of that. And when I realized that nobody's gonna teach me that, I have to do it all by myself, I was very, very scared and very like unsure, am I even doing the right thing? But then I knew that if I'm going to sit and tell myself that, oh, I don't know this, I don't know how do I do this, it's only going to delay it. So all I could do was like, read about it, watch YouTube videos, figure it out how to start this business. And then I did it from scratch. Like I had to do it. And when I did it, it's like the most satisfying feeling because you did not like depend on anybody. You did it. Like now, if anybody asks me anything about it, I'll give the answer like that. I think just the initial part of not knowing makes me anxious.
Not knowing. Uncertainty.
Yeah.
Many of us, that's anxiety provoking.
Yeah.
Right. I'm 30. You're turning 30. Anything that scares you, or what are you looking forward to now, new decade?
I just want my work to pick up more than anything else because I had a different vision of myself at 30. I had a version of myself who was going to be married and, things will pan out the way I had imagined. Because when you're 22, you think 30 is like, oh my God, by 30, I need to have everything done. Now I'm going to turn 30 and I'm just like, it's fine. It's just 30. Like people get nervous to turn 30, but I'm actually super excited because I don't think like mentally I've been in a better place and more sure about everything around me and what I want, and especially what I don't want. So I think that knowing that it's just exciting. And this whole year, I just honestly just want to focus on myself, give myself as much attention that I don't think I had given in the last few years. I just want to make it about me. And if anything happens along the way.
Self-love and self-care. I like that. Any message for the audience? Anything you want to tell them, whoever's watching you, about mental health struggles, anything?
Everyone goes through things. Just remember that if you're looking at somebody and you like what you see, but you don't actually know what they're going through. So just don't judge anybody because you don't know them. You don't know what they're going through. And just remember, whatever you're feeling is going to pass. That's the main thing. And you can control your thoughts. And the more you focus on that, everything just gets better.